Video number 4. We're getting the cone. When I had my neck surgery, I had to wear a neck brace last year, and I called it the cone of shame. But anyway, I'm coming up on that 1-year anniversary. I still have no feeling in my fingers, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll get here. The cone. From where I'm sitting, let's identify our shadows. Okay, so this one is the cast shadow. And then over here, darkest part of our cone is the core shadow. And then we get into our form shadow right here. And then very slightly, we're getting into our mid-tone shadow right here. Or mid-tone light. Mid-tone, half-tone, that's in between our center light and our core shadow. I mean, it's like half and half. And then over here, we've got our form light. And then way over here on this side, we have our center light. That's the area that's getting the most light from our light source, which is, ta-da, a lamp. All right, so anyway, that's how I see it. You guys, when you're up here, you're going to see it completely different. And if you want to be an overachiever, like I typically am, you can sketch from what you see up top. But I can't look at the camera and sketch from above. There's my nice, very cool little arm that I bought myself on Amazon. Okay, number 2, pencil. That's all you need, and an eraser. You need some Q-tips because we're going to blend with our Q-tips. I have a blending stump. I'm going to use a blending stump in this video. And then I have an eraser. My sketching pencil is a 2B. That's just a softer lead, but it's the same. It's pretty well the same as the number 2 pencil. But this one refuses to sharpen itself because the lead's all broke up inside the wood. Okay, and then I've got my grayscale over here that we did the other day. And so I'm going to put you up. If you don't have a cone, you can follow along with me, or you can try to sketch from above there. But that, how's that? Does that look all right? Find my hands. Yeah, okay. In frame. There we go. All right, so the cone started off as a what? A triangle. So that's what we're going to draw first, is our triangle. We're going to sketch very lightly because we're going to have to erase some of our lines over here because it's light over there. There's our triangle. And if we were trying to make our shapes look 3D without the shading, we would be drawing an oval right here. And we just made a cone. But we're not going to use that line when we're shading, finding our value to make it look 3-dimensional. But we're going to keep this rounded part because that's what it is. Okay, so now I'm going to find my cast shadow, which starts over here, comes out a little bit, and it's the same shape as your cone. It's a triangle. It's got a point to it. Okay. All right, so I am one of those people that starts from dark to light. I'm gonna start putting my darkest point here, which is your cast shadow. Hold your pencil sideways, because that gives it a nice broad stroke. Nice broad line of lead, or graphite would be the proper artsy terminology for sketching pencils. And cast shadow's the darkest part, so we're gonna put a little, you know, pressure on that pencil to get a dark mark. Dark mark, I sound like I'm quoting Harry Potter now. Speaking of Harry Potter, isn't there a line where Dumbledore quotes something about darkness is just the absence of light or something like that? Well, you know, that's the definition of a shadow. Basically, a shadow is the absence of light. But I can't remember what that quote is. So if you want to help me out with that comment, you know exactly what I'm talking about, please leave it in a comment box so it doesn't drive me crazy. I can't Google it right now because my phone is up there. All right. So I got a pretty good grasp on my cast shadow. And I'm going to take my blending stump or my Q-tip, and I'm going to scrub that in. I'm going to start with my Q-tip, and then I'm going to switch to my stump. When we did the cylinder, which is on the other side of this paper, I used the Q-tip all throughout, and this time I'm going to use a blending stump. And I'm filling in all my white spaces, and I'm getting some lead on my tip, or graphite. Because I'm going to use that to find and put down my core shadow here. My core shadow starts up here. Am I still in frame? Am I covering up? Okay. There's my core shadow. Now that I've made an up and down line, all right, just like the cylinder, we need to make, since our bottom has a round edge, we need to follow that curve, okay? So we're just gonna make short little swoopy curves, little flicks or whatever. Going like a horizontal kind of a curve. You get longer curves down here, and then, you know, towards up here, I mean, there is no, because it comes to a point. Little back and forth swoopies. Swoop, swoop, swoop. And here is my core. And I'm stopping right there because I don't want to go clear over here yet while I'm working on the core. Because we're gonna like rotate our blending stump, our Q-tip. We're gonna rub out some of that graphite. So we're just thinking in thirds. How's that sound? A third of the way over is our core. And from there, we're just gonna keep getting lighter and lighter and lighter with our shadow. much like our gradient, our grayscale. That's why learning how to do a proper grayscale is super important. Because if you don't know how to do that, then you're gonna have a tough time being able to sketch or draw with lead or charcoal. You've got to have proper knowledge of where your shadows are and where the light hits something and gives you a shadow. Because once you start to see the different gradient elements of the object you're drawing, the better it's going to be. And I gotta hop up just for a second. My sanding paper. Alright, I can't find it. For blending stumps, if you have sandpaper, you can sand off this little edge. It looked like a little brown thing that had sandpaper on it. Anyway, I scratched. If you've got too much graphite on a blending stump, you just have to take sandpaper and rub that. Oh, this is it. Thank you, Hayden. Instead of me taking a new blending stump, I just got rid of the lead. See that? Okay, so from our core shadow, we're gonna get into our form shadow or reflective light. And we're just gonna fuzz that out, still keeping kind of a curve to it. We're not gonna take the graphite from over here on our core, but we're just where we stopped that mark, we're just gonna blend it out, keeping kind of semi half circle strokes. And of course, the closer you get to the peak, you can't really do that a whole bunch, so just short little marks. But are you starting to see the 3D of it? And it might be just a little too light for a half tone, because our half tone is in the middle, right here. So if we want to take longer strokes and come out this way, we can do that. Or I'm gonna have to anyway. Can you get out off that stool, please, and stop hovering over my shoulder? Hayden's been watching me do this from the camera port just to make sure I stay in frame, but she's breathing in my ear and it's driving me crazy. Okay. Thinking I need just a little bit more of some graphite there. I'm taking a Q-tip that's got it's pretty saturated with lead. And I'm just blending, blending, blending. Because if you've got lines, then you need to blend more. Because it should be a very seamless, yikes! That was a lot. Blend, blend, blend. If you make a mistake like that, just blend it out, okay? Or you can erase it. Now, see how I'm keeping that blank? That's my center light. That's what's getting the most light from my light source. And I'm gonna keep it like that. And no, that's a clean spot. I'm just gonna blend that edge in. Okay, and now I'm gonna get rid of this line just a little bit. I know it's still there, but I don't want such a heavy dark line right there. So I'm just gonna add in just a little bit of a mark with my, very gently, with some of that graphite left over my blending stump. And I'm just going to blend in that form light area into my center light area. And if you think you need to get a little darker somewhere else, by all means, go back in with your pencil and make your core shadow darker. But you've got to be mindful that your core shadow has to be lighter than your cast shadow, okay? So if you've got the same darkness of your core shadow and your cast shadow, you're gonna have to go back in and make your cast shadow darker. And sometimes when you're as dark as you can go, I think that's why I start from dark to light, is because I know how much lead I've got to put on the paper when I go from dark to light. There's my dark mark. I'm a Death Eater. Okay. Make my core blended. I've got my cast shadow darker. And there you go. That is our cone. Okay? Send me pictures. I want to see your work. I want to see how things are going. The next one here in a day or two, we'll tackle the cube. The cube is a little bit complicated because it's got all these sides that we need to be conscious of. So the cube's gonna take some work, and I might have to practice that myself before I can teach you. So it might be a day or two, but at least you've got two more going on here. You've got the cone and the cylinder in the last video, and that's it. So I will talk to you guys later. Email me questions. If you guys want to email me something that you want me to do in a video, that would be great. Just give me some ideas on where I could go next with you guys in these little YouTube tutorial thingies that I'm not so scared to do anymore. So yay me. Okay, I will talk to you later, and thanks for tuning in. Leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to, email me some ideas. But most importantly, I want to see what you drew. So if you made it all the way through this and you've got a really good 3D cone with a shadow, I would really like to see it. So email me or text me, whatever. I want to see it. Okay, miss you guys. Bye.